Thursday Night Football welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Detroit has been kicked, it's been battered, it's been bruised. This team is going to take on the identity of this city. These guys are going to be something this city's proud of.
R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-C-T, take F-T-C-T.
Jared Goff with a perfect throw.
A tracer from Jordan Love.
Harry Sanders breaks the tackle of the play. Here's a touchdown.
Brett Favre has done it again.
Reggie White on the sack.
Are you kidding me? Oh, Megan Dragon did it again.
It's a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
The Detroit Lions are playing for an NFC championship. The big somebody coffee is coming home.
Tonight's ways to watch include our Prime Vision with Next Gen Stats broadcast, featuring player tracking, advanced insights, and the game from the Skycam angle. You can also watch in Spanish with TNF en Espanol. Moments ago on the field, Kaylee Hartung with Jared Goff.
Jared, you know your defense is decimated by injuries. What was Dan Campbell's challenge to your offense tonight?
Yeah, everyone's just got to pull their weight a little bit more, carry the load a little bit more, and we'll be ready.
And Campbell told us you are in PhD mode, playing football at the highest level. How do you expect the Packers to try to defend you?
Yeah, they'll bring something new tonight. They always do, and they got a great defense, and we'll be ready.
Thanks, Jared.
All right, thank you.
Standings right now, as we talked about at the top, Lions are on top at 11-1. Vikings are 10-2. They're the Packers right there at 9-3. Huge game for them tonight. The Bears are 4-8. Matt LaFleur is in his 6th season as the Green Bay head coach, and Dan Campbell, what a job he has done in his 4th year as the head man here in Detroit. Jordan Love, of course, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, 2nd full year as a starter, 5th year in Green Bay. Jared Goff came over in that trade with the Rams prior to the 2021 season. Ford Field packed to the gills, as you would expect. Green Bay won the toss. They defer. Down takes us to halftime. Go to Kaylee.
Well, Matt, you told us coming in, you knew the Lions could move the ball on you offensively. How will you adjust in the second half to keep them out of the end zone?
Well, we just got to be a little bit more consistent, need 11 guys, and we can't have silly penalties. I mean, that penalty killed us.
A lot of Josh Jacobs, not so much of Jordan Love. How will your offense look to adjust to get that passing game going in the second?
Yeah, well, we got to convert some third downs. I think we're 0 for 2 right now, so just got to get some consistent drives. I feel like our run game's moving them a little bit, but ultimately we're going to have to score some points.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
For sure. So it's 17-7 Detroit at the half. After the break, State Farm halftime show with Carissa and the gang.
Welcome, everybody, to the State Farm Halftime Show. The star power is high for one of the most anticipated Packers-Lions games ever. And the defense is dominated early, but Detroit scored late and leads Green Bay 17-7 at the half. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Carissa Thompson, alongside Tony Gonzalez, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Andrew Whitworth, and Richard Sherman. So, Fitz, I want to start with you. What do you make of what you've seen here in the first half from the Lions offense?
Yeah, 2 great touchdown drives. The one at the first in the beginning, and then the one on that last drive there to get the 7 points on 4th down. But Jared Goff, I mean, accurate passer. It's been nice to see him through the air, complementing some of the stuff they're doing in the running game. We've heard about this all year long, his accuracy, great ball placement there, really throwing his guy open. And then you see the tight windows. Jamison Williams having a big first half with 3 catches for 60-plus yards. He's doing a really nice job. And here was the touchdown on 4th and 2. Really 7-point play. This is how accurate he is. Even when he throws the ball away, he's hitting bullseyes out there. It's been impressive to see.
Yeah, you know what they did? But they did well to, well, at least they're trying to establish the run. Only 15 runs so far, only 2.8 yards per run. If they're going to have to pick that up in the second half, if they want to create those deep down the field throws. Jared Goff's been playing some good football right now. Sam Laporta been blocking his butt off and has been catching the ball. Big part of that offense.
And this Lions defense, we talked about it in pregame, short-handed. You got 13 guys on IR. They're short defensively tonight. What have you seen from their effort limiting the Packers to only 7 points?
I seen Aaron Glenn talking to them hogs up front and say, I need effort and attitude, and those boys are giving him exactly that. It didn't matter who's out there. They're saying, we're going to put pressure in the face of Jordan Love. And every single guy at every single level is doing that. We've seen Quan Alexander, we get there. We just saw Jamal Adams. We see a lot of guys. They're doing it by committee. They're putting 6 guys up at the line of scrimmage, and you got to figure out which one is coming. Who is it? The linebackers? Is the DNs? Who's going to pop out? And Jordan Love is just under a tremendous amount of duress. That's why they're not throwing the ball. They've only thrown the ball 7 times in this game because I think Matt LaFleur is trying to keep him out of harm's way.
Yeah, they were down 10-0. Finally got that run game going behind Josh Jacobs. Do you expect more of that in the second half, Whit?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, to start the game, really only 4 rush attempts in the first quarter. It seemed like they wanted to come out, get a chance to take some shots, but Detroit's bringing too much pressure, and they say, you know what, we got to run the football. We got to create some identity here. So you saw this in the second quarter, 10 rushes on this touchdown drive. They had really an emphasis of, hey, let's get the physicality back in here, control this game some. We're down 2 scores. Jordan Love used his legs to extend this game, and then you see Josh Jacobs punch it in down here to get them 7 points. You're going to have to see a little more of this out of them. Drive the football, but at some point, we're going to have to take some shots in this game if they're going to keep up with this Lions offense.
You heard Matt LaFleur say to Kaylee at halftime, we got to limit those penalties and got to convert on 3rd down. All right, let's go take a deeper dive, shall we, on the Lions run blocking in the Good Neighbor moment presented by State Farm. So check out everyone pitching in on the David Montgomery 3-yard run here. That's being a good neighbor and a great teammate. Tony, you got to love the effort.
Oh, I love it right here. And this is what I was talking about, Sam Laporta. Look at that block by both tight ends right there. That's how you get it done in the running game. David Montgomery, easy touchdown for him.
All right, you guys, this is a good one here. We also got another of stars here tonight in Detroit, including Jake from State Farm, who stopped by with a little pregame gift for you, Fitz.
Yeah, I thought it captures my essence and spirit. Look at that thing.
The teeth are accurate,
on,
for sure.
Perfect. We love Jake. Jake's a fan.
Look at your ears.
I don't think the statue dies in spirit, though.
We do love Jake, and we love State Farm. All right, with second half adjustments for the Packers include what?
Well, the biggest thing is coming out of this half with the football, you can't let it get away from you. Right here, Jordan Love, this offense, we got to establish the run with Josh Jacobs, but Jordan Love's got to make some plays because this game's going to get away from him. If you punt this ball back to this Lions offense, they just went down and scored, this game will be out of reach. So they got to continue to move the football well and take advantage with a big play of some kind.
Well, I heard Jordan Love say, hey, I watched the film from the last game we played Detroit. That wasn't us. Well, I don't know what this is this first half because this tape don't look much better. They're putting pressure on you. They're saying, hey, we don't think you can deal with this. You didn't deal with it well last time. You were 3 of 10, and now you're not dealing with it well again. He's going to keep seeing it until he does something better.
Yeah, and Christian Watson, obviously, you can't fumble. You can't turn the ball over, especially in this game. This second half, just like you said, throw this ball deep. You got to get something going. Otherwise, this game will get away with you real quick.
Jaden Reed, I'd love to see him get involved, too.
Yep. All right, you guys, the Lions will clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. They lead the Packers 17-7 at the half. Green Bay gets the ball to start the second half. Thanks for watching the State Farm Halftime Show. We'll see you postgame.
Back we come to Detroit on this Thursday night. Start of the third quarter with the Lions on top 17-7. Prime stories in the first half. Montgomery got into the end zone, third Lions player with at least 12 rushing TDs in consecutive seasons, joining Sanders and Billy Sims. Some pretty good company there. In the second quarter, over the course of the season, 14 points tonight, 10. It would be the highest in a single quarter for a team in NFL history. And meanwhile, the numbers for the quarterbacks are, who would have thought that? 131 yards for Goff, 31 yards for Jordan Love. So Green Bay is going to get the ball. We haven't mentioned that Dobbs is also out. Romeo Dobbs, that's important. But what are they going to do now here in the second half to turn it around?
I think it's, again, you got to get back to running the football because it works so well. But obviously, if they're going to come back and win this game, Jordan Love's going to have to get going. 3 completions, that's the fewest that they've had in a half since going all the way back to 2013. And he's very capable. But the Detroit answer to having all this inexperience on defense is not sit back and make these guys have to think. Turn them loose. Just go after the quarterback when he drops back to throw. And it worked for a half. I cannot wait to see what Matt LaFleur's answer to that is in the second half.
Yeah, that Detroit defense is the story of the first half. What a job they have done. Dan Campbell, the head coach, moments ago with Kaylee.
Well, Dan, for all the injuries you have on defense, they've held Green Bay to 7 points and forced a turnover. How do you explain their success?
Well, look, AG's got a hell of a plan. The players are playing hard right now. We're doing exactly what we said we needed to do at this point. Make them earn anything they get and get a takeaway. We got one. We got to get another one in the second half.
Offensively, you've controlled the ball and put up 17. How do you replicate that in the second?
Yeah, look, same thing. We're doing exactly what we needed to do and what we said we needed to do. We just got to be more efficient running the football. That'll open everything up for us.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
And what a game. 34-31 Lions go to 12-1. Still the #1 seed in the NFC. Packers drop to 9-4.
So the 2 games this year that Goff and the Lions played against Green Bay, 6 of 7 on 4th down and 4 fourth down touchdowns. Just incredible, the risks that he's willing to take in these divisional matchups, and it pays off for him.
Some are riskier than others. That was an A+ or an F-, depending how it worked out.
Right. And Goff made it extra special by getting stepped on, getting out of there.
Amazing.
And still got the football to Montgomery.
34-31. So Bates, he's getting used to this. Does it again? Yes, sir. And 35 out. That made the difference. Goff, 32 of 41, 283 yards for LaFleur. Another tough loss. They don't come much tougher than that. Of course, Dan Campbell, different reaction, obviously. Detroit wins it in a wild one in the Motor City. JCPenney postgame show next.